Hey there, Cardia. This is Pastor Steve with a quick Sunday recap. Recap of the message this past weekend. You know, when I was growing up, one of my most vivid memories was of doing the lawn mowing, running the lawnmower. I think it was such a vivid memory because it seemed like a really dangerous piece of machinery, what with the gasoline and the spinning metal blades, and the fact that I was entrusted with that, it made me feel like a grown-up, because it seemed like something only a grown-up, only a highly responsible individual would be able to operate. And so being able to mow the lawn to me was, it felt like I had leveled up in life. And so I enjoyed doing that. It's weird how some of my most vivid memories in my childhood are of doing chores, like helping my dad fix the shelves, or to assemble a shelf, or to put up a patio, to build a patio in the backyard, or learning from my mom how to wash rice. You know, it's just amazing how rice turns out, because I was taught to put my hand in the pot and to fill up the water up to the level of my hand. But, you know, regardless of hand thickness, or the rice just comes out. It's incredible. But you know, chores were a thing. Chores, housework, it's just part of being a family. You know, nowadays chores don't have the same fascination for me, but I still appreciate doing them. I may not enjoy doing them at the time. Not all chores are fun, but they're necessary, right? You know, whether it's washing dishes, or doing the laundry, or doing the vacuuming, or taking out the trash. These are all important things that we have to do. We might not like doing them, but we need to do them. Otherwise, we'd be eating off of dirty dishes, and walking around on dirty floors, wearing dirty clothes, and surrounded by trash. Who wants to live like that? You know, it's the same in the household of God. When we believe in Jesus, we become part of God's family. We become members of God's household. And just like how in a natural household there are chores that need to be done, they might not be fun, but when we do them, they bless the whole family. Just like that, in the household of God, in the church, there is housework to be done. There are things that need to be done that might not necessarily be fun, but that enable and empower and facilitate the church being able to fulfill its mission, for us to be able to worship and make disciples and do outreach and have fellowship. There's a lot that goes into that. When we think about rebuilding in this season, we're rebuilding from the ashes of the past 2.5 years, and rebuilding the church at Cardia to be a church after God's own heart, which is what I believe God is calling us to do in this season. It's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to be a greater blessing to more people the more of us pitch in. In Nehemiah chapter 3, we read the story of how the Israelites went about building and rebuilding the walls and gates of Jerusalem. And what's striking to me is how everybody pitched in. It didn't matter if they were priests or perfumers, whether they were leading people of the city or just commoners. They all stood shoulder to shoulder and put their shoulders to the work of rebuilding the walls and the gates of the city. You know, probably few, if any of them, were professionals. They probably weren't professional contractors or construction workers. They didn't do it because somebody was paying them. They did it because it was their city. In the same way, in a family, in a household, we don't do housework because we get paid to do it necessarily. We don't do it because, you know, we need to earn our place somehow, that we need to earn our place at the dinner table by doing chores. No, we do it because it's our family, it's our house, and we live in it, and we don't want to be living in squalor. We want to be living in a household that runs, and that's clean, and that's just operating the way it's supposed to be. In the household of God, we don't work to earn our place either. We don't work because we get paid to do it. We work because it's our family. We work because we are sons and daughters of God. The work of God is not out of fear. It's not out of a desire to earn anything. The work of God flows out of identity as Christians. It flows out of our sonship, our daughtership. Housework is a privilege for the household members. And so when we think about the chores at a church, we don't think about, what am I going to get out of it? We just think, hey, this is my spiritual family. Cardia is my spiritual house, and I'm a member of it. And so I'm going to pitch in. I'm going to do my part so that it's not just a few people doing all the work, but that we're all pitching in together to do the chores of the church, the things that we need to do that might not be fun, but that enable us to do the fun stuff, that enable us to worship, to make disciples, to do outreach, and to have fellowship with one another, which are all crucial, vital, important things that we do as a spiritual household. In this season of rebuilding, there's going to be a lot of work to be done, but I want to invite you as members of God's family here at Cardia, as sons and daughters through Jesus Christ, to consider how you might pitch in, what your place on the wall would be as we're rebuilding the church to be a church after God's own heart. Whether it's coming on September the 11th Sunday and staying after church to help assemble backpacks and school supplies for children in the Compton Unified School District. You can sign up for it. I'll leave a link in the description of the video. Or joining up on a team, which we're going to have an opportunity to do on September the 18th on Ministry Sunday, to join up on a ministry team, whether it's audiovisuals, praise, refreshments, greeters, or what have you. There's so much good work to be done, and I want to invite you to be part of it, to consider how you might step up and contribute. If you're already serving, my deepest thanks go to you, and I commend you in the name of Jesus. I know sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you feel like nobody appreciates what you do. I know that sometimes it's boring and it just seems like a chore, but I want to tell you that your sacrifice, you're putting the good of the community above your own comfort. Your service is a huge blessing to us, and it allows us to be a blessing to the world. That your efforts, your contribution to the housework at Cardia is what enables us to worship and make disciples and do outreach and have fellowship. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you, and I thank you. But hey, let's all pitch in together. Let's all stand shoulder to shoulder and rebuild this thing that God has given us the privilege to rebuild. His house, His family, His household. Because God's not done with us. He's got a vision for Cardia to be an even greater blessing to the world than even we've been to this point. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to building it together with you. Be blessed to be a blessing. We'll see you next time.